So we'll call her Miss Good. We'll call her Miss Good. So Miss Good is a activist apparently. She's being paid, likely, not sure. But there are lots of people who are active and out there who are being paid, paid protesters. She may be one of them. The reason why I say that is because she came from Colorado, and well, that's where she's from, and she's in Minnesota. Is she invested in Minnesota like that? It's hard to tell. Now, I don't know what her residence is as far as daily life. It seems to be that she is dropping a child off at the daycare. I don't know if that's a temporary arrangement or not. People are trying to draw conclusions from her Facebook posts. And she said that she was in Minnesota on like a journey or something. So it sounds temporary. So I'm not sure if she's gone there to participate in protesting as a paid person. Not sure. But clearly it looks like she and her female companion, who is also a lesbian, are pretty much for the most part daily. It looks like they have daily gone. I noticed that when there was a video, the female companion who looks like a man, she's on the back side of the car and she said you can take a picture of the license plate. It's the same as it's always been every morning, and it's going to be that tomorrow. So it sounds like they have been antagonizing ICE. Now, if this is a paid, you know, job to be protesters, if they are paid protesters, that would make sense. And reports have said that they do this every day. They take the vehicle, they park it in some kind of way as a barrier. Hey, what's up? Good morning, Nana tomorrow. So they park this vehicle in a way that obstructs, sort of. It doesn't block the whole road, but they get in the way of ICE by putting this vehicle as a barrier in the middle of the street. This has been their habit, their thing to do. And so it looks to me as if all of these things are true, and we constantly have new information and conflicting information. But if this is true, that means that these women, these two female companions, they have been interacting with ICE. This video is not the first time. If they're paid protesters that do that barrier blocking every single day, that and obstructing ICE, if that's what they're doing, then that means that the ICE agents are familiar with them. If they are aggressive in the sense that they're getting their cameras out and talking and speaking directly to the ICE officers, the agents, then that looks like they may have had some antagonism daily. Like this is part of the procedure, the protocol. It's common. Okay. Now, I don't know how long this might have been going on. Is it a week? Is it 2 weeks? I mean, I'm not trying to paint a picture of anything except this is not the first time. This is not the first time. So, my thinking, the way that man who shot her, the way he came out of that car, he came straight for her. And it looks as if I'm tired of you. It looks as if you keep doing this shit. It looks as if I know exactly who you are and what you're doing. I don't think that she was, some people say, oh, she was a neighbor. She was just a regular woman backing up and turning around, and they didn't give her a chance. They gave her mixed signals. I don't think that's what it is. I think she might be a paid protester, and she is doing her so-called job, and they had it. That one particular man, he looks like he had it, and he has apparently post-traumatic stress disorder over had the fact that he got drugged by another vehicle. This happened to him already, so he's got in his mind a reaction. Now, where does the red pill come in? You have the right to be a paid protester. You have a right. Hey, Venus, you say you heard. I heard that they live over there. Okay, they live there. That's what people have said, that they lived in that neighborhood and she was just trying to, turn around. I don't know. I don't know. There's conflict, and that's why I said I don't. Everything with me is just I heard. I'm gonna be honest and say I heard, because you got different people with different agendas. Some people want to paint her as a nonviolent. protester who just was a an innocent bystander in her neighborhood just trying to turn her car. Other people are saying she's a paid protester who had been antagonizing the police, and both could be true to some extent. There could be a little truth in both of those. But what I will say is what I saw in that particular man that has the mask on that shot her. If you look from different angles, it looks to me like he pulled that trigger premeditated. You can see the way he hulked over there. He hulked over there with like precision. Like it's a final showdown. It's a final confrontation. Why do I say red pill rage? I've learned a little bit about this man. This man, it does appear like they were harassing those men. Well, yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, the fact that she already had a video out, the way, that's what I'm saying. It's not their first rodeo. And women don't usually just tell other women put the gas on, go go go. That's not our first instinct. Our first instinct, if we're not protesting or something, is just to be like, sir, what is it, what's the problem? Just the whole thing. This is a normal engagement between these two women and ICE. I can tell that much. This is not the first time. I'd be like, I'm just trying to get out and going to the grocery store, I'm sorry, my bad. None of that was the conversation, and she was willing to tell her to go without her. I thought that was interesting. It was more important to speed off with the vehicle than for her to actually wait and get inside and both of them leave. So the female companion knew that this was going to continue. She thought that she would drive off and go park, and then she would stand by the vehicle and wait, and they'd go back to the protesting area or something. That wasn't going to be the end. That's why she was willing to be left behind, because they weren't really going anywhere. That's my thought. I would never tell somebody to leave and just drive off without me. You know what I mean? Why would I want you to just leave and I'm standing outside the car? I would want to get in. It was urgent that she drive away and not get the car impounded and go to jail, because I think this is what they do every day. But where does the red pill come in? I think this is red pill rage because that particular man, he had a different energy than the other man. Law enforcement is law enforcement. It doesn't require um, you to have outward show of anger. It doesn't require for you to be emotional. He was quite emotional. He's like, get the fuck out of the car. I heard that. Get the fuck out of the car. So he was angry, and he had just pulled up out of another vehicle. He had not been engaging with her really. He had pulled up. So he's coming onto the scene pissed off, like he's on a mission. The way he jumped out of that vehicle, the way he came around, the way he's videotaping, the way all of that's happening. And I thought it was interesting. You have your phone in one hand and you're able to pull out that gun that fast with the other. You're shooting and videotaping at the same time. That's his video. So the red pill rage, I'm thinking, what's up, DOD? Peace, peace, peace. Um, the red pill rage I'm seeing is the fact that he already had anger boiled in him. He came angry, mad, on a mission. And in my opinion, I feel like this was his final showdown. I want you to think about how this looks. You got a white woman, and he's a masculine white man in uniform who has power and control and authority with the federal government. Okay? So, as far as him being a white male, he feels completely empowered to dominate. There's nobody else he thinks should be able to dominate this white woman at this moment. Now, where did I get the red pill rage part from? Looking into him a little bit more, guess what we find out? He is a Trump supporter. He is a diehard conservative. And this was the giveaway. He might just be a passport bro, or a male, or he has a mail order bride. He served in the military, so he has traveled as a military man abroad. Now, whether he was located and stationed where, I don't know. I don't know if he was stationed in Asia, but here's the giveaway. He is a white man who is a Trump supporter, a conservative. I bet you that if we were able to see his social media, we would find out that he was a red pill. We would find out that he's one of those trad cons. Why do I say that? He has a very, very young Filipina woman that came from the Philippines. She comes from the Philippines, not somebody he met here. Okay, so in my mind, That just Trump supporter, military. He's probably a white nationalist, maybe, who knows? He's a diehard conservative, and he's got what he would typically call the submissive type of woman. So it would make sense to me. He imported him. This is how it does. A lot of these white men who feel like white women won't submit. Fuck white women. I'm gonna get me an Asian woman, and that's why I say he just might be red pill. And think about the optics here. This is a white man, and this is his final showdown. He's on his job. Okay, he has a mission. He's a military man. He knows about following the chain of command and doing what must be done. He knows about order. And he's here to stop chaos, right? And he's on his mission to save America. Think about all the things that's going through his head. And here you have this woke, white, liberal, white woman, the epitome of everything he can't stand. Everything that's wrong with the world starts with the white woman, her inability to submit, her avoidance of men, her avoidance of white male patriarchy. Not only that, here she is, an open, obvious, masculine presenting lesbian. Not one, but two. They are displaying and flaunting their lesbianism and their opposition and their defiance to white male patriarchy and white country, while they are chasing down, doing the work of God, right? Securing Christianity, getting these foreigners out of here, these dark people. And all we needed you to do was stay your fucking ass at home. All we needed you to do was get married and shut the fuck up. All we needed you to do, white woman, she became the embodiment of everything he hates, of everything he stands against. She should be with her white man at home. She should be pregnant at home, minding her business, not concerned with politics or power or struggles against authority. She should be in the home cooking a cabbage and cabbage and raisins and shit. You understand? She should be making some kind of casserole. Bitch, you should be baking bread. You are out of line. You are out of place. And guess what? I'm the one white man who came to stand up to you and all this liberal bullshit. I'm going to put you in your place today. You and this lesbian bitch, I'm going to put both of y'all in your place. Today is the standoff. I mean, today is the standoff. And I will be victorious. I'm going to take you down. You represent all that is wrong with these white women. They can't submit. They don't respect power of men. I think that's what's going on. He came on a mission, y'all. You said I'm on to something? I think so. I think so, girl. That Filipino, when I saw the pictures of him and the Filipino, and she's very young too. She might just be 18 or 19. I said, oh, okay, so you're a Trump supporter, and and that's a funny thing. There's a trade-off for these people who they love this idea of white male patriarchy and white male power. They love that, but the problem is they can't seem to find a white woman who will submit. Now, if this dude has been divorced from a white woman, this will make my case even more. If he already had a white woman and a white family, because I'm guessing, he's had a career in the military. He's old enough to have been married already. And if he's really Christian, he probably was married already. I'm going to investigate him a little bit deeper. I'm going to see a little bit more about him, what I can find out. Because if that's the case, he would be like a lot of these guys that have been holding on to anger. If he's been through child support situations, if he's been through a messy divorce, if she's costed him anything, if he lost a lot of stuff, he could really have some antagonism against white women. The way that he came at that whole scene, I mean, he shot that quick chick so quick. It's like his life and his rage and his anger. It flashed before him. And this was his moment. This was his moment to make all right in the world. Think about it. You are ICE agent. You came to get rid of the foreigner, to make your country great again. He's been doing this shit. He ain't new at it. He's not a new recruit. He's been working for ICE 10 years. He's a native of Minnesota. He's invested. That's his state. and he's doing his fucking job. He's on a mission, former military man. And he works for the United States government. So anybody, it's the most powerful country in the world. There is nobody who can stand up against him because he represents the most powerful and greatest nation. He is feeling empowered as a white man. He's doing his duty to his country and his blood and his kind. And here you come, you liberal, white, lesbian bitch, trying to upset the order of the white man and patriarchy. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. We all know, y'all, that he could have easily stepped aside. He could have easily stepped aside. We've seen people who were, bystanders, and they see a vehicle or something coming at them, they dive out the way, they jump, they move. His instinct was not to move out of the way. His instinct was, I'm shooting you on the spot, judge and jury, executioner. Let me say this: are they wrong? They have a right to protest. I don't even know if that's legal to obstruct federal officers. I don't think it is. I would consider it obstruction. I would. But I don't know if that's legal. I'm going to just be honest. I'm not going to make up shit. I'm going to say I don't know. But what I will tell you is this. As a woman, okay, I'm looking at it and I embody being a woman. I embrace being a woman. I know my limitations. You understand? And I know there's some things that I should do and there's some things I shouldn't do, just as a woman. If I'm thinking like a woman, okay? Maybe they don't think like women. I shared that with you all before. I had a lot of meetings that I was doing in my work as an activist. Mostly it was indoors in a boardroom with suits on, okay? All of us are wearing suits. Formal meetings. I was in my comfort zone. But I also led protests. I led marches, peaceful, nonviolent protests. But even though I am a person who is nonviolent and non-confrontational, I'm not about to fight anybody. I'm not about to throw nothing. I'm not about to be attacked. And my rule of thumb as a peaceful, nonviolent protester, I tell everybody when we start anything that's public, like a protest, as soon as you see a sign of trouble, that's what I tell everybody. Go to your car and leave immediately. We're not arguing with anybody. If somebody shouts some bullshit out, everybody, time to go. We're done. We're done. There is no conflict. Go to your car. Because I'm going to get in mine. I'm going to drop this mic and I'm getting in my car. I'm not going to wait for escalation. I'm not that person. Because I'm a woman. And I know I'm a fucking woman. I'm not finna fight none of y'all. I'm not finna be shot. And so when the white boys came and they started coming to my protest, these Confederates started coming to my protest. And it required the FBI, the GBI to be present. They got guns and the white boys got guns. Antifa got guns. All these people out here got guns. Guess what Miss May May said? I'm a woman. And I don't want to have to do gun battle because I don't have a gun. And I don't want to be shot. I'm a woman. So let me take my ass and go to a better place for a woman. You understand? Let all these men have these fucking guns. Let me go. This is why it's very, very important for women to have balance. Yes, we are feminists. Okay, fine. We are empowered. We want equality. We want basic human rights. Yes, yes, all that is true. But at some point, you have to be in tune to your fucking nature. And this is why I have a problem with gender bending. I have a problem with the gay shit because it takes us out of our nature. I am a fucking woman. I'm not built for combat. I don't want to have combat. I'm not built for guns. Yes, in self-defense maybe, but just going out here wielding guns and shit, I'm not built for that. I know what the fuck I am and what I'm not. I know what I'm suited for. I'm suited to talk to people. I'm suited to reason with people and make connection. That's what I'm suited for. Negotiation. So let me take my ass back into the boardroom and let these men have these fucking guns. If they want to fight and do all this crazy shit, let them do that. I'm not doing that. This is why these women, in my opinion, are somewhat out of order. They are being confrontational with men. And I'm saying that as an activist. You have to still know you're a fucking woman. You have to contend with that. Guess what? I can't go to jail because I have a what? I have a child. I have a child. I have to think about my child. See, that's what I'm talking about, being in tune to being a woman. I have a child. My child is more important than any protest. I cannot feed my child. I cannot take care of my child. I cannot pick my child up from school or give her any of the things she deserves and must have if I'm in jail as a result of being arrested for obstruction with anybody. Okay, right or wrong, lawful arrest or not. If bodily harm comes to me, I am less capable of taking care of my child. Do y'all not understand that women, we really, really do? We got to stop it. We got to have balance. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you can go up against. Do y'all see how many of these women are getting tossed around and they think it's good? I've seen so many of these women. It's like white men who are ICE. These white women are walking up and provoking them. These men are picking their asses up and throwing them like a lunch sack. They hitting cars, hitting the ground. You're a woman. You're not built for this. What are you doing? Why are you on the front line like this? Bitch, if you're going to do anything, go stand your ass way in the back with a sign and shut the fuck up. Don't provoke grown ass men, men who are military. Don't provoke special ops men. Don't do that. There's a way to protest. And when you see trouble and you see problems, and everybody's not nonviolent, it's time for you to go as a woman. You can call it coward, you can call it whatever you want, but you ain't built for this. You're not built for this. I've been protesting for many years. I hold signs. I'm silent. I'm quiet. I might chant some shit, but as soon as I see a problem, I'm getting the fuck out of there. I'm not built for that. I'm not built for combat. I'm not built for bullets. And now that I have a child, I'm not doing no protest. I'm not holding a sign. I'm not standing out nowhere. I'm not doing that. I'm done. Women have to be in tune. This woman has 3 children. Did she not think of her children? I'm just asking. I'm not blaming her. I'm not being mean. But did she not think about her 3 children? You have to think about these things as a woman. We're not the fucking same. And this is the problem of feminism. This is the problem. The gay folks took over feminism. Yes, we want equality. Yes, we want human rights. But at the same time, we want the right to be a fucking woman. Okay? I don't want to be a man. I do not desire to be gay. Okay? I do not desire to combat. I do not desire to be shot. This is not feminism, right? Play dumb games, get stupid prizes. You know, you are a woman. You have to be in tune to being a woman. Because at the end of the day, the consequences will be the consequences of a woman. And what is that? The consequences of a reckless woman who's doing this and combating and da da da, all of that. The consequences for her will be what? Feminine. They will be woman consequences. What are those? Children with no mother, moms who can't take care of colds, right? Moms who can't make sure that you're having bowel movement, moms who can't take you to the dentist or the doctor, moms who can't be at the PTA. You understand? So we gotta put a boundary on the feminism, and this is why it's dangerous. You know, lesbians trigger red pill rage man. They do. You can't tell me that he ain't looking at them 2 women and thinking how much out of order that is with his ideal world. You can't tell me it doesn't. And that is the point of the agenda of the gay agenda, to enrage people, to be so extreme, to do too much, to do the most. That is their whole point, is it not? To force it down your throat. You got 2 women looking like men, and we know they're women. They're not made of what men are made of. The imitation of it pisses men off. You got a right to dress how you want to dress. You got a right to try to pretend you a man. You got all that. You got rights. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Those are my thoughts. Let me see what y'all. Ambassador, you said it comes. You said it comes with it. What comes with it, Ambassador? What comes with it? You talking about what comes with it? I'm curious what you mean. So yeah, I mean those are my thoughts. And I speak as a protester, as an activist. I'll call myself an activist, not a protester. I've done protests, but I just I realized that, and maybe some people can't speak on that because they don't have the experience, but a lot of those spaces can be tense. At any moment, you don't know what's going to happen. Was it murder? Absolutely, it was murder. Was it intentional? Is the question. Was it an intentional murder? And I think because of that Filipino, maybe I'm jumping the gun. Maybe who knows? He might be a fucking passport, bro. But that white man with his background, he fits the profile of red pill. I am sure somebody is going to look into it. And if he is found to be a red pill white man who is acting out of some rage. Now I do, for PR, and if I was one of those people, the pundit, I would go with that story. I would go with that narrative. I would if I was doing PR and I was in the news. I would go down that hole, that rabbit hole. I would put a new spin on things. That's not what I'm doing. I just saw the Filipino lady and it made me think, okay, good morning, good morning. Okay, so I guess nobody else had any comments. Hey, Mahogany. So that's my thought. Let's wait and see, y'all, or we can look into him. I need to get his first and last name again, and I'm gonna look and see if dude is. I'm gonna look at his Facebook page. I'll be able to tell a lot from that. Okay, Ashay. Oh, you said drop the link, girl. I wish I had done it as a what you call it. I have a phone. I don't have a. I don't have the StreamYard like that on my phone. I didn't start it out as a what you call it. Yeah. That's why sometimes when I go live, if I have it open for that, I put um open panel, and when I put that, that's because I'm not on my phone. I'm on the computer. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do something tonight. I think because I want to talk about that motherfucking dress. I actually don't want to talk about the dress. I want to talk about the thing behind the dress. Just like this shooting, it's like people are thinking, is this about did she get shot wrongfully? I think it's deeper than that. I think it has something to do with white women. The symbolism of white women and white men, and there's a power dynamic there. There's another story under the story. Same thing. That dress is on the surface. There's something deeper. Okay, that dress has something deeper going on, and I see a lot of feminism and masculinity balances and imbalances that's coming through the media. That's what I see. Anyway, Ashe. Y'all, I know they want because it's not about the dress, girl. It's not about the dress, and that's what I want to talk about. I'll pull a yeah, I haven't spoken on the dress, but I'm not even gonna really speak on the dress. These people are enraged. I think it's more about the church. I think it's more about the church. I think it's more about tradition. The word is tradition, more so. People are losing tradition, and there's people trying to get back tradition. I think that's really what the dress is about. The loss of tradition. People want to hang on to the old shit. They don't like the new shit. Sometimes new shit is not proven to work. I mean, just in general. Sometimes new shit, the old shit has existed so long because it worked, and new shit is just getting in the way. It's a distraction. It's problems. So I won't share my thoughts about the dress. Y'all know me. I'm Queen Modesty. I believe all women should be modest. Put your goddamn clothes on. Put your goddamn clothes on. That's how I feel. But that's from my personal perspective. I don't have liberty over others. And I think that's important too. A lot of people need to realize you don't have jurisdiction over other people's lives. For some reason in this modern world, we think we're so interconnected. You have an opinion, you get to weigh in, you get to regulate. No, you don't. What gives you jurisdiction over anybody? And if we would start with even just that jurisdiction, you got jurisdiction over what? Yourself, your own household, your family that you create, maybe the business you own. Other than that, you really don't have no goddamn jurisdiction over nothing beside that. And for some people, for some reason, people extend their jurisdiction and think that it matters. And they don't actually have any power. If you don't have any power, then why do you care? That's my thoughts. I like common decency in society. It pains me during the summer. Y'all should see it. Oh my God. Here in the South, I have such a struggle in the months of June and July. It's like people in Georgia decide they want to get naked, honey. They want to get naked. And these women just be trifling with the nakedness. It just blows my mind. I'm talking about, how do you walk around with your butt cheeks hanging out? I don't care if you're in the perfect shape, you got the perfect body. Why are your butt cheeks hanging out? What does this mean? Why are you doing that? What do you, I'm not the police, but I'm just asking questions. You said, yeah, about tradition. I think it's about tradition. Some women are trying to paint it as control, but I would argue that control is actually in covering yourself. That's powerful, you know, concealing and keeping and something being sacred. There's power and there's control in that. I control how people perceive me. I control how people treat me, you know. So it's a two-way street. I don't know, man. Uh, I fully believe in women's liberation, but I think that it's being perverted by people who don't really understand the nature of it. I'm not talking about you, Mahogany. I'm just talking about women have grabbed these, what do you call them? We women have grabbed these terms, talking points. Okay, talking points. We've got talking points and phrases, and we throw them around, and we don't actually have the scholarly knowledge and the background. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about women. Like we hear women say stuff like toxic masculinity. Do you even know where that came from? Or even the idea of our bodies, our rights, our bodies. My body, my right. Do you know where that came from? A lot of women don't even understand where any of these things came from. They don't know anything about feminism. They just grab these terms that they see and they put in popular culture and they just repeat them and they're empty words. Even the idea of equality. Do I want equality? No, I want access to things. I don't necessarily want equality. I want access. I want equal access. That's what I want. We want to be the same as me. I don't want to be the same as me. I'm not a man. So it's a lot of stuff it's a lot of nuance to feminism and truly understanding what that means. It's a power that is to be respected, and we got to stop playing with it. We got to stop playing with feminism, just like them Jews. If you keep calling everybody an anti-Semite, eventually that shit don't mean nothing. You know, it don't mean a damn thing. How dare she wear that? Yeah, it's the yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. So maybe that's this afternoon. I gotta go get me some more a refill of my White Russian, and I'll meet y'all there. Maybe like I said, 10, maybe 9:30, 10. Yeah, 9:30, 10. All right, y'all. Ashay, y'all have a good day. Oh, let me read this comment. He said, "Yeah, parts of the Black manosphere reads more feminist literature than you rank and file." Oh yeah, the men have. Oh yeah, yeah. How dare she wear that dress? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely. That sounds like something they say. But I think there's that's a tradition too. You know, there's a lot of tradition there, Mahogany. You from the South like I'm from the South. You know what I mean when I say tradition. And the black church, let's get outside of big cities. But just the regular black church. Think about these rural areas, these small towns and stuff. They have always had dignified pastors' wives. She's a woman who's had, for the most part, a clean nose. And she's the model for the community. She dresses and carries herself at all times. Now this is maybe I'm speaking on old school. Maybe this is 70s, 80s. Maybe that shit been dead, and I just don't know because I ain't in the church. But I do understand that's part of our Southern black culture, and these people are living in the South. They're black, and they're destroying that culture, that tradition and those pastors' wives. They knew when they went to the store, their children needed to behave and they needed to be presentable. And everywhere they went, this is the Christian church. I'm not part of that, but the traditional Southern Black church, the first lady knew everybody's paying attention to what she does. She is the community's model for womanhood. That was reality in the South. The Black South. What she said mattered. How she behaved mattered. She was a model. Any black girl who went to church or is in a community, if she somebody said, "Who's the most respected woman in your community?" A lot of times it'll be the pastor's wife. And so there was a status, right? And ain't that many damn churches everywhere, at least not in like a place like Atlanta. But pastors' wives were not a dime a dozen. Back in the day, you actually had to go through a whole process before you became a man who could lead a church. You had to be approved by the community. You have had to put time and effort in. It ain't like that no more. Any $2 nigga can go and rent and lease a strip mall space, get some folding chairs, and call himself a pastor. So much has changed. But you used to have to, you know, get buy-in. You had to build a congregation. You had to do fundraising. You had to break ground. You had to build a church from the bricks to the mortar, you know? And there was something special and dignified about that. You got people motivated in a community to follow you so your wife would be a reflection of your strength and your greatness. She would embody all the things that are ideal in a good woman. And notice I said a good woman, not a regular woman, a good woman. And so that's the tradition. Pastor's wife have to be a good woman. And if she's wearing to couture and she's doing all of that, you know, people in the church will have to say, are we getting rid of the tradition of the pastor having a good woman? Now, whether she was or not, nobody fucking knew because she knew how to put on, right? She knew how to play her role. She might have been a hellraiser, an asshole, a person who had low status and quality in the home. We don't know that. But when she was out and about, she was pristine and clean. And she was a model of behavior. She was the epitome of a good woman. Her character, you know? And I think that's the thing. I think that's the tradition that people are having an issue with. She's not modeling the good woman, the good first lady. Maybe we got to throw that out. Maybe we don't. I don't know. I'm not in the church. Um, okay, it's not dead. Is it though? Look, we got a girl. What time is a good time for you? You on Eastern like I am. What time is a good time? Just a good conversation. And look, mahogany. If you know how to do that double, see, I don't know technology. If you know how to do that double thing where both people can broadcast, we could do that too. We have a church almost every corner, and they are not teaching the people nothing. It's sad. I pick and choose where I go. I visit churches. Okay. Pastor Brian is Hollywood himself. There's a difference. He had a reality show. Right. Right. In the afternoon. Okay. So when you say afternoon, give me a time. What's a good time though? What's a good time when you relax and chill? Oh, today is Saturday. Yeah, today's Saturday, isn't it? Today's Saturday. I forgot. I know you're in South Carolina. I'm saying what time? That's the same Eastern time as me. What time? I can do an open panel. And so we can go back and forth for a while and then discuss it, and then we can do an open panel. I'm not sure you choose. Okay. Let's see the height of my day. This that da 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 da. When you say afternoon, you talking about after 4 or before 4 o'clock? Okay, so you don't have time for a panel then. You running? Well, let me just put me in a comment. A better time for you. I'm not going anywhere today. I'm home. I'm home. I'm not going anywhere. I got a decor job. I gotta prepare for it, and a lot of flowers to do. So I'm not going anywhere. You said after 4. Okay. Let's say 6 o'clock. Let's say 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock sound good. We'll do 6. Okay, 6 o'clock. All right. All right. So I'm in the stream. I appreciate y'all. Those are my thoughts. Ashe.